Genesis 6 verse 4. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, men of renown. Briefly, who or what were the Nephilim?
They would be those that would be the original creations. As to that, there would be the humans that would be created from the times in the beginning. As it would be given in Genesis, on the sixth day, God commanded that those that would be made male and female would go forth and multiply. These are the individuals, although much different than the present day humans. As you know, humans were created. These were the descendants that were already in the world when those as to the spiritual beings entered the world to have intercourse with the females, that there might be a change, a ascension. For those in the beginning were brutish and were more of the animalistic natures. They were crude, they endured, and they lived in primitive states. As you would understand caveman, you would understand the simplicity and the manner in which they would have existed, coexisting with the large beasts that were somewhat troublesome and roamed the planet. These were in the beginning the humanoids that would be redefined or made finer by the participation of those beings that were discarnate, yet able to move from the heavens above to possess physical form temporarily. They were in the beginning, and they are those as to the original, as you have referred to, who were already there when the angels descended, you'll say, and engaged in the aspects of materiality and adulterated themselves and fell from grace. Direction.
Thank you. So, approximately how tall were these Nephilim beings in feet on average?
Not extensively tall, if you would call it that. Hard to gauge here, where they are one moment. These would be about 3 to 4 feet tall from our observation or calculations in sizing them up with objects, you'll say, direction.
It's interesting, since most people believe they were giants. They were 10 feet tall or larger. So this is correct then?
We are referring to the original race of peoples. Is this the question?
The Nephilim, as referred to in the passage?
They would be indeed larger, for this would be time passing, as there would be the original creation of humans who were commanded to go forth and multiply, and who lived like animals would live in nature. What you are referring to are the descendants, you'll say. Direction.
Okay, so approximately how tall were the these descendants then?
They would be large indeed, for they flourished and multiplied and grew as there was the stages of influence from the spiritual. They were influenced from the divine and grew upright and waxed strong. In this case, you would have 10 foot or more in height, direction.
Thank you. So was the Old Testament character known as Goliath, was he one of these descendants?
All of the titans were, yes to the question. There would be, let us say, reflections back to those larger races, for humans were quite tall and strong as they were needed to be. As they evolved from the lower or shorter stanzas, they became quite brutish and quite large out of necessity. You would find remnants of their skeletons in which there would be thick bones showing that they stood 7 to 8 feet, even 10 feet tall, and sometimes a little more. They were required out of their necessity or existence to have great strength. Then, as there would be the intelligence and that of the inspiration or preparation, more exactly, from the vibration of the soul, these would be intelligent beings that would be large-framed. And you would find that as to the Atlantean race being quite large, powerful and strong. And then you would find those individuals that were referred to as Titans. These would be races of people that would be large indeed. And they were quite populous in different parts of the world, but stemming from the same source. To the question, those that would stand out in nature as Goliath or Hercules or others, they were of physically sound bodies and sound minds. They were not brutes, but were intelligent beings indeed. They just happened to live in a very violent time in which strength was revered. This is the beginning in which battles would be fought between the champion of one army and the champion of another, and whoever won, that king became master of all. It was decided by divine fate, and the use of these beings were considered enhanced by the divine as well. And historically, it would seem that they were, as they were into the gene level influenced by more refined and higher vibrational beings. To give you some idea, we are skipping a lot of detail, but to understand, the injection of the improvements in humans was from the divine, and remnants of these beings closer to this time of injection persisted in the world for a consideration of generations, you'll say, direction.